Welcome to our group presentation. In this assignment, we have decided to construct a glove company. The name of our glove company would be Alpha Gloves Sdn Bhd. Malaysia now produces more than 60% of the world's rubber and nitrile gloves, making it the leading manufacturer in the previous 10 years. The capital that will be used to open our company would be 400,000 ringgit. Our company will provide a range of training programs to provide staff members enough knowledge of the company. The mission of our company is to provide the finest gloves that provide our consumers with the best possible protection and comfort. The vision of our company is being a top producer of premium disposable gloves while delivering added benefits to our stakeholders by persistently concentrating on product innovation and development. Our connections and resources will allow us to provide our clients the precise kind of glove that meets their needs. Many different sectors including the medical and healthcare, food and beverage, electronics, manufacturing and other utilize our nitrile gloves extensively. Next, the human resource management. Alpha Gloves Sdn Bhd is a company that has around 100 workers. Our company has a loading and stocking crew that comes with packers, warehouse supervisor and warehouse clerk. Packers will be given a salary of 1,594 ringgit per month. Warehouse supervisor will be given a salary of 2,186 ringgit per month. And warehouse clerk is given a salary of 1,867 ringgit per month. There are 60 people in the management crew, including the human resource team. The loading and stocking crew play an important role in order for the gloves to be loaded into places that it has to be loaded and stock them accordingly. On the other hand, the human resource team is also as important as the other positions for our company. Our human resources team's responsibility is divided between the human resource manager and the human resource assistant, following with the human resources coordinator, administrator and generalist. Thank you.
So for the next part, I'm Nurul Madah Binti Musa, MMS Street number 211220645 will present what rules or regulation that we apply to our company. First, we have to know what is the meaning of Employment Act. In generally, it is defined as the main set of laws and labour matters in Malaysia. The Department of Labour is in charge of employees who are covered by the Employment Act. In order to comply with Employment Act, Alpha Sdn Bhd required to accord the following rights categories of employees. For information, this act consists for who are contractually bound to the management like us, and for employees who have entered into a contract of service with an employer and whose monthly wages do not exceed 2,000 ringgit Malaysia, and employees whose monthly wages are more than 2,000 ringgit Malaysia, despite the fact that they are provided for in paragraph 2 of the first schedule of the Employment Act. For example, number 1, employees engaged in manual labour. Those who work into the production department, shipping and receiving, assembly and packing, warehouse and inventory workers. And number 2, supervision are the employees performing manual labour. That's because they are supervisors, for one, supervising or overseeing the labour of other employees in their capacity as supervisor, responsible for monitoring workers in and throughout the performance of their work who are performing manual labour. There are several Alpha company SOP and guidelines sets in general and to operational procedures in production. Generally, we brief employees every day on the risk of the COVID-19 virus and how to protect themselves against it. A face mask must be worn at all times by all workers while in the workplace. Mark 1 meter distance on the floor, tables, chairs in common places including the production line, cafeterias, meeting rooms, prayer rooms, multipurpose halls, smoking area, bathrooms and more to follow guidelines on physical distancing. For operational procedures, before entering the production, ensure to be wearing the right jumpsuit as well as the shoes that have been provided to everyone. Make sure the hands are clean and dry before putting on gloves. Before beginning production, make sure the entire operation is spotless and by thoroughly cleaning all surfaces using a mop and dustpan to remove any traces of the dust or other contaminants. Apply the disinfecting solution to a mop pad and then mop the floor. Cleaning the glove, packing tables and conveyor belt machine is a must. At least once a day, wipe off the glass in the windows, the doors, and the features. Use the proper disinfection solution twice a week to clean the devices. Next, we see some rules set in our company. First element, contract of service, defined as any agreement, whether oral or in writing, and whether express or implied, whereby one person agrees to employ another as an employee and the other agrees to serve his employer as his employee. Legally binding, an agreement between an employer and employee to perform services for the employer. The objective of such a contract is merely temporary, even if it is mutually agreed to last 4 years. Two types of contract services, written contract and verbal or oral contract. For jobs lasting longer than a month, employers and employees must sign a contract. Additionally, Malaysian law requires enterprises to keep employment contract records for 6 years after expiration. The end of a contract of service notice needs to be stated in the contract. On the right, the table shows period of employment and notice that required to employees. Number 1, we see 4 weeks notice required for employees with less than 2 years. 6 weeks notice required for employees with between 2 and 5 years on job. And 8 weeks notice required for employees with more than 5 years on the job. We go for the next part, which is payment of wages. We are required to pay its employees in full by the 7th day following the end of the pay period, as stated in Section 19 of the Employment Act. As stated, the monthly wage deduction cannot exceed 50% of the employee's income unless it includes housing loan repayment. In this case, the Director General of Labour may authorize 75% of the monthly wage in deduction. We are not required to pay wages for employee exemption due to number 1, the employee is being detained by authorities and the employee is imprisoned. The employees must attend a court hearing or trial unless he or she is a witness for the company. Okay, the third one, a recruitment of women. We order a rule where between 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. female industry cannot work. Women who work for a corporation are entitled to 60 days of paid leave after the birth of a child and maternity pay equivalent to either the usual rate of pay or their regular salary, whichever is larger. However, women with 5 or more living children cannot get maternity leave payments. They receive 30 days of paid leave before or after childbirth.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Idina Najwa binti Edi Aryan. So next I will explain about another components of Employment Act 1955 in our company. First is maternity protection. Women have the right to maternity leave with salary or similar benefits without losing their job, seniority or social benefits. Under maternity protection, we have paternity leave. Alpha Angle offers a few days of optional leave. The leave is for 7 consecutive days, restricted to married personnel, limited to 5 confinements and requires at least 12 months of services. Next is maternity allowance. This can only apply to the first 5 pregnancies. Next, we move to hours of work. Under hours of work, we have rest days and public holidays. Workers who are requested to work on a rest day and who agree to their employers' appeal are entitled to premium rates of pay to offset their loss of a day of rest. Meaning, if the rest day is variable, for example in a shift system, the management must inform workers in advance as to the roster in operation. Then, for public holidays, our employees have at least 11 public holidays per year. Employees may be required to work on one or all their public holidays, in which case, as with work on a rest day, special rates will apply. Our management can also ask staff to work on holidays and tell them the holiday will be rescheduled. Our company must set the replacement date, which may differ for each employee. Another component is time off payments. Many employers provide their workers with opportunity to take time off work without losing pay with a paid time off program. For example, vacation, illness, and other personal reasons also fall within this category. Firstly, a weekly rest day. All employees are guaranteed a weekly day of rest except in the cases expressly permitted by law. An employer may not make an employee work on a legally recognized day of rest. Anytime an employee puts in extra time on a day off, he or she should be compensated for it. Thirdly is annual leave. Employees receive annual leave as part of their contract. Most job contracts provide yearly leave, which may or may not cover public holidays. Most companies need holiday notice. The longer the leave, the longer the notice. Lastly is sick leave. Alpha Gloves operates in strict adherence to the relevant labor laws and even goes above and beyond for our workforce. In accordance with labor law, employees are entitled to 14 days of medical leave and 16 days of hospitalization leave. Next is sexual harassment. Employees in our company also can complain of sexual harassment, meaning any complaint relating to sexual harassment made by an employee against another employee, by an employee against any employer, and by an employer against an employee. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum madam. My name is Muhammad Syahid bin Rosli. I'm from 31D and my matric number is 211220585. For the next part is Component of Occupation Safety and Health Act 1994 or OSHA. OSHA is a law that establishes a legal framework to ensure the safety, health and welfare of all Malaysian workers. The goal of this law is to ensure that all Malaysian workers are protected from risks to their safety or health that are the result of their own activity. Alpha Glove, nothing is more valuable than the safety and health of its personnel. For safety and health policy of Alpha Glove has implemented the following norms and procedure to ensure the health and safety of its employees. For example, Alpha Glove is committed to creating a workplace free from hazard that might lead to harm or illness for employees and observes all rules and regulations related to workplace safety and health. Then, for safety protection ways for employees, Alpha Glove makes sure that all workers need to wear protective attire, which is personal protective equipment or PPE that can protect workers from this hazard. Then, Alpha Glove also developed a comprehensive safety program, which can create a true safety program for our production procedure and may highlight the value of safety inside our business. Next is health protection ways for employees, which is a healthy lifestyle application. All workers of Alpha Glove will have access to a health and fitness program coordinated by the company's health officer. Alpha Glove also make medical monitoring, which provide a variety of health benefit to all of its workers. And lastly is screening. Alpha Glove, on the other hand, may provide screening to any workers who need them.
Hi, I'm Tarshani Subramaniam, matric number 211220690. I'm going to explain about Industrial Relation Act 1967. In Alpha Glove, the industrial relation refers to interactions between employers and employees. Alpha Glove decided to use few ways to create a harmony relationship between employees. The first one was build cross-functional teams, which is bringing everyone together from other departments to work together. Next is create social interactions, which means doing small events like a potluck and so on to bring everyone together and create a friendly atmosphere. And the final way was equip employees with communication tools, which is Alpha Glove provide communication tools like Skype to make employees easy to communicate with others. Employees who not satisfied with the contract they signed, Alpha Glove decided to use consensual dispute solving procedure, which is mediation, to solve the problem by having a mediator to balance both parties' views and also to redo the contract based on both parties' acceptance. That's all from me. Thank you.
We can conclude that the Alpha Glove Sdn Bhd have concentrated on legal ethics, contract and court procedures, consumer and tort law, property law, employment law, environmental law and other international laws throughout this assignment. It is essential for making decisions on how to run the firm effectively, how to carry out the activities, how much profit they make, how their customers interact with them and other things. Next, the importance of occupational health and safety can't be overstated. It makes sure the pertinent safety and health regulations as well as operation procedures are strictly followed to protect against potential workplace hazards, especially in a glove company. Finally, the Industrial Relation Act 1967. This act seeks to foster, uphold industrial peace and to regulate interactions between companies, employees and their unions. It also includes provisions for the prevention and resolution of any disagreements or disputes resulting from their relationship, as well as general provisions for handling trade disputes and issues associated with it. Thank you.